Hello everyone, it's Prajwal Pathak this side and you're watching my YouTube channel pyGuru. Friends, in the last tutorial we learned how can we add the bullets and collision detection to our game. Moving further, in this video we'll learn how can we add explosions to our game. Okay. So before adding explosions, I want to add a feature by which when you are running this game on pyGuru 3, if you click on the player will shoot. Okay. So let's see how can we add it. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this thing out and I'll paste it inside outside this groups. Okay, here I'll create a function def shoot bullet and I will put all the code inside it. So let me just paste it here. Okay, so after pasting it, what we are going to do is we are going to just call this function inside our event handling loop. Okay. Here all we have to do is shoot bullet. We have to call this function. Now the next thing that I want to add is whenever we click the player should shoot. Okay, this will be helpful when you are running this game on Android phones using pyGuru 3 or some similar application. So first of all, we want to know the position of our player. So what we will do is we will simply find out our player position by this x, y equals event.pos. Okay, was its position. Previously we were just taking the first value of the tuple, which was the x position, but now we are just taking x and y both. Okay, the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to check if this position or if this touch is colliding with the player's position. So we can do it like this: if p dot rect dot collide point, and here I will pass the position that we have extracted. Okay, so x comma y, and if it's true, we'll just call the shoot bullet function that we have just created. Okay, that's all. Here it will be p dot rect dot collide point. Okay, now here it will be elif and here it will be elif. Finally, I just want to remove this equal to sign. Now if I just run this game, you will find I'll be able to shoot the players shoot by clicking on the player. Okay, see, now we are able to move it and also shoot it at the same position. Okay, so it's working fine. Now the next thing that I want to implement is the explosion. As Dara once said, explosion is an art, so we are going to just add this art to a game. Inside the object.py, we will just go to the bottom side and here we will copy this line, this entire bullet class. Okay, since our explosion is similar, so that's why we are just going to copy it down. Okay, then we will just rename few things. First of all, it will be explosion here. So we are just going to type it like this, explosion, and the rest thing will be same, x comma y comma type, and it will also be same. It's only that we do not need this thing, so we are just going to remove all these things of the initialization function. Then we do not need the update function, this particular feature of our update function. We will modify it for our player. Okay, so we'll do it in a minute. Okay, so in order to implement these explosions, you need several images that you have to paste inside your assets folder. So let me just paste it. So these are the two folders that you have to paste: explosion 1, which has 3 images of explosion, and explosion 2, which has 8 images of our explosion. Now see this, this resource, these folders are available in the resource link, which is available in the video description. You can just download it and then copy paste it in your game folder. Okay, just like this. After doing this, let's see this explosion 2 folder has 8 images. We just have to make an animation out of it. Similarly, this explosion 1 has 3 images and we have to make an animation out of it. Now there's a difference between explosion 1 and explosion 2. Explosion 1 will occur whenever a bullet either collides with our player or the plane. Okay, enemy plane. This explosion 2 will be animated when either our player 1 dies or any enemy player get destroyed. Okay, so that's a thing that we have to keep in mind. Now since we have copy pasted it, we can start writing a function for our explosion. Okay, so first of all, I'll create a self.img list. Again, this is a simple list which will store all the images for our animation. The next thing is I want to do is if type equals 1, then I will create a variable self.length and here I will save 3. Okay, similarly, if type equals 2, it means if we are passing type equals 2, then the self.length will be equal to 8. Now what this means, For the explosion one, we know that we have 3 images, and for the explosion 2 we have 8 images. Okay, that's it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply for loop for I in range self dot length. Now see, this will be now work upon the length. Okay, whatever the value of type you will pass. If you pass 1, our animation will have 3 frames, otherwise it will have 8 frames. That's it. The next thing that we have to do is we have to load the image. Okay, so we can load it like this: img equals pygame dot image dot load, and here you have to pass the location. So my first location is assets. Okay, so assets, inside it we have the explosion. So see, there are two things. Sorry, it will be explosion, not enemies. Explosion. The only difference is here we have either 1 or 2. Okay, now we know that, see once again, here we have either explosion 1 folder or explosion 2 folder. Now this 1 or 2 depends on the, we know that type, so we can simply write type here. Okay, again we'll be using an f string, so let's just pass f here, and finally we have to type i.png. Again this i.png, but we know that when you apply for loop, the for loop will start from 0. So here we have to add 1, because our image names are like this. They start from 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, not from 0. Okay, so that's why we are adding +1. That's it. The next thing is I want to resize this images. See, the image size is very large, 319 multiplied by 321. So I want to resize it. The way I'm going to do it, first of all, I will find the original width and height of our image, which you can get it like this: img.getSize. Okay. The next thing will be I want to reduce the size of my images by 40%. Okay. I will make it 40% of the original. So you can do it like this: w multiplied by 0.40. If you do this, your original size will get reduced to the 40%. And let me just paste it, and we are just going to do it for the height too. Okay. The next thing is just we are going to transform our image. So img equals pygame dot transform dot scale, and here we are going to pass the image and then the width and height. So width comma height. So this will resize your image. Okay, so we are doing it for now previous few tutorials. I hope you already understood it. So self dot img list, we are just going to append it to our img list like this. Okay, so we are good to go now. The only few things that are required is first the cell dot index. Okay, we need it, and let me just copy it from here. We are doing it for quite a time. We need to copy this line, cell dot rect. Okay, let me just copy it. Cell dot rect equals cell dot image dot get rect center x comma y. This will give us the rectangular position of our image, which we will then place at the position x comma y that will pass to the explosion. Okay, that's it. We have already learned about it in the previous tutorial. That's why I am not explaining it again. The next thing is that we are going to do is, first of all, here we want to select the image. So self dot image will be equal to self dot img list, and here we have to pass self dot index. That's it. See, here we have append or added all the images in a list. Then we are going to fetch the first image and store it into the save.image variable. Then we are going to extract the rectangular position of our image and place it at the x comma y position, and then this will be stored in the cell.rect variable. Finally, we are going to create final variable, that is cell.counter, which will help us to animate our image. Okay, then we'll come inside the update function. Here we will write the code for updating our image, and it's same as this one. Okay, for whatever we are using for our enemy planes. Let's just copy paste it. So self.counter plus equals 1. I want to update it at every 7 frames. Okay, sorry, after every 7 you can say fps or frames, we will update it. We will make it self.index. We will remove it, and here I want to add 1 to it. Okay, self.index plus equals 1. However, if self.index gets greater than equal to self.length, which is equal to either 3 or 8, okay, we are just going to kill it. Self.length kill. Okay, we are just going to destroy the explosion. Okay, so it will get removed from the screen. Else, we are going to update our image. That's it. Now we have coded our entire explosion code. All we have to do is we just have to go to this main file. Here we have to import it, explosion. Then we have to make a group for it. So let's just copy and paste it. Here instead of enemy bullet, it will be explosion. Then the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to update our explosion group here. Currently it's empty, we have not added anything, but we can still update or draw it on our screen. Okay, so explosion. So everything works good now. The only thing that we left is we have to create our explosions. These explosions can be created usually only two times. Okay, either when the bullet touches either the player or the enemy plane, or when either the player or the enemy plane get destroyed. Okay, again when the bullet touches either the player or enemy plane, we will use the animation 1 or explosion 1, and whenever the plane either the player plane or the enemy plane get destroys, we will use explosion 2. Okay, explosion 2 is a larger explosion, so we'll use when the plane get destroyed. Okay, so first of all let's do it. Okay, when a bullet touches our player, so what we are going to do is let's not print it now. We can simply do this thing. First of all, we will find out the player's position, sorry, bullet's position. So bullet dot rect dot center. Once again, when you are trying to find out the position of bullet inside the class, let's say here, you will use self.rect.center. But if you are trying to use it outside your class, like in main file, you will use it by the name of your bullet. Okay, whatever object you have. So here we have the bullet object, so that's why we are getting it like this. So first of all, we'll find out the center position of our bullet, which we can get it like this. Then we are going to make an explosion object. So explosion, and it will be equal to explosion class. Oops, sorry, explosion. Here we need to pass x, y, and then the type. Again, it's a simple collision between a bullet and the player, so we'll just pass 1 here. Finally, we have to add it to our explosion group. Explosion group dot update, and here we have to pass explosion. That's it. Okay, so it's this will work for our player. Now let's do the same thing for our plane. Okay, enemy planes. Let's just copy paste it, and yes, here all we have to do is we have to find out the plane's position. Okay, no, it should be bullet. Okay, it should be same, I think. Yes, it will be same for this one, this two, and this two. So that's why bullet.rect.center, because this is also collision between bullet and the player and the enemy plane. Okay, that's all. So let's just try to run it and let's see if it's working or not. Basically, this will create a small animation on our screen. So let's try to run it. My game runs slow when I screen recording it. So yes, we have got the see here, we are getting it, but the animation is not working. So we have to find out why it's not working. Let's try to find it out. Okay, so it's a very silly mistake and we can fix it simply like this. Here we have to add this explosion objects to our explosion group, not update it. Okay, that's all. One more thing that was causing error was this line. Here we have to type img list, not image list. Okay, inside our update function for our explosion group, since we have here img list and not the image list. Okay, so that's it. Now let's try doing it once again. This time it should work. Then we will have to do a few more things, and let's see. First of all, let a player comes and we have shoot at it. So yes, a small see explosion is happening here. So it's working now. We can do things like this. Okay, so it's working perfectly. Again, run this game at 60 fps and it will work more better. Okay, I am recording at 24 fps. That's it. Now the next thing that we have to add is I want to make a bigger explosion whenever our enemy plane collides with our player plane. Okay, that's it. So all we have to do is let's just copy it, and here I'm just going to paste it. Okay, here I will type, instead of player hit, I will type player collide. It means our player is colliding with one of the enemy planes. So here instead of enemy bullet group, we will check collision with enemy group. Okay, and then we will make it true. It will delete our enemy plane from the screen. Okay, what we want to do that in that case is, uh, if player collide, we are not going to write it like this. Once again, this line will return a list. Okay, this player collide will return store a list of the planes which are colliding with the enemy. So we can access the planes using indexing like 0, 1 or 2. Okay, so here we can write if player collide. It means if our player is colliding, then what we have to do is we will try to find our out first the players. First of all, uh, the center position of our player, we can do it, get it like this: p.tech.center, and then we are going to create an object of it, but we are going to make it 2 instead of 1. That's it. Okay, so it will destroy the our player's plane. So let's just copy it, and we will destroy our enemy plane too. Again, this is in the case when our player collides with our enemy plane. Okay, when they both collide and not the bullets. Okay, here what we have to do is, instead of player p.rect, we have to make it player collide. As I said, this player collide is a list, and we can get the planes inside this player collide list using indexing. Okay, like this. That's it. So let's just run this again, and this time I want to show you what happens when a player collides with one of the planes. Okay, incoming planes. You will see two explosions will happen, since one our plane will get destroyed, and again this this enemy plane will also get destroyed. Okay, you can move a player like this. So smaller explosions are working well. We want to check for the bigger explosion. Yes, so it's working also. Okay, it's only that enemy plane got destroyed, but our plane is not getting destroyed. We have to destroy it also. I mean, explosion animation is happening, but this player does not get out of the screen. Okay, it does not get deleted from the screen. We have to add this feature. So let's see how can we add it. For this, first of all, I want to go to this enemy class here, and I want to update enemy our enemy here. Okay, see, when shooting with bullets, what I want is when the when the health of our enemy plane reaches 0 or less than 0, we want to destroy it. Okay, so what we want to do is, let's just copy this line, copy and paste it here. So what I want to do is, I want to just copy it like this. Now once see again, as I said, when you are trying to get the position of a plane inside the class, you have to use self. Okay, but outside it, you have to use the rectangular position. So that's it. Here, instead of p.rect.center, we have to make it self.rect.center. That's it. The rest of the thing will be same. Instead, we have to pass our group here. So explosion group, we have to add it here. So let's just add it here inside the update function. So if we are doing it, we have to also pass here. Okay, so explosion group. Yes, since now we are passing these two groups to our players enemies update function, we can use them. Okay, now we can add our explosion to our enemy. So whenever our health gets less than 0, our enemy plane health gets less than 0, we want to destroy it permanently. So that's why we are causing the explosion too. Okay, now let's do the same thing for our player. So for player, what I want to do is, see, our player is not inheriting from pygame.sprite.sprite. So we cannot call the sprite dot self.kill function. Okay, what I'm going to do in that case is, I will create a variable here, self.alive equals true. It means our player is currently alive. Only that when our player health gets less than 0, we will make this variable false, like this. If self.alive, self.health becomes less than equal to 0, we are just going to make self.alive equals false. That's it. Okay, and here we have to put all of these things inside a if condition. If self dot alive, it means all these animations and updates will only happen when our player is alive. Okay, we do not want to do it when our player is dead. Okay, so we can do it like this. Yes, here also we have to put it inside a if condition. If self dot alive, then only we are going to update our player. That's it. So everything look good now. Once again, we can just try checking our player. So let's just do it. I think I'm missing something, so I will try to do it once again. Okay, don't worry. So let's try destroying our enemy plane here. So see, we successfully destroyed it. Okay. Now let's try to check if our player get destroyed. Yes. So see, our player just got deleted from the screen, but no explosion happened. So all that we have to do is we have to do the same thing with our player too. Okay. What we have to do, we have to just copy this lines that we did here for our enemy. Let's just copy it and paste it for our player too. So here, just before here, okay, that's it. So let's just indent it, and here will, instead of cell.kill, we'll make cell.alive false. Once again, you have to pass explosion group here, otherwise we will not be able to add the explosion animation to our group. So again, you have to go here, and here you have to pass explosion group. Okay, that's it. Now everything is fine. Now let's try once again, and let's see if it works or not. Okay, we will just check collision with bullets. When the player health reaches less than 0, our player will get destroyed. Okay, let me just do this. Here we were checking for, okay, so we can just try printing it. So then we have a better idea of if our health, what is our health at the particular moment in the game. Okay, so let's see. Let the enemy comes and shoot us. So here the enemy has come. So 70, then it 40, then it 10, and yes, so now our enemy, our player plane got destroyed permanently. So here our game is not getting over. Okay, what we have to do is, we have to check, we have to just close our game. Okay, we have to create or appear the end screen of our game. Okay, or the start screen. So we will do it in the next tutorial. So this is it for this video, guys. If you love this video, leave a like or a dislike. If you are new to my channel, subscribe it. Thank you. See you in the next tutorial.